Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and in this video we are going to be having a look at the Delta pickup with gooseneck trailer. Now, this truck has a lot of different customization options. Obviously, as the title states, it has a gooseneck trailer, but it also has the option of running a standard bed or dually fenders with dually wheels in the back. And one of the coolest things about this truck is that, as you can clearly tell, it is based on a Chevy Squarebody, but should very easily make its way to consoles in the future. Now, as of recording this video, the truck is not on consoles yet, but I will update the comment section with a pinned comment once it has made its way there. Now, this pickup, like I said before, was uploaded by Iceberg 101, and DC provided the model, Big Dubs 420 provided the tires, and there was testing by Rebel Ted Industries, DC, Rafa TGG, and Jotaro Testing. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this truck. So once you make your way to the truck store, you can see that the Delta pickup is listed as a Scout, and the thumbnail for it actually has it in its dually configuration, which is very cool. So we'll go ahead and pick one up, and this is how it starts. It's basically, it almost looks like a standard, fully stocked Chevy Squarebody that's been kind of chilling out, you know, behind somebody's barn or something, but that they still drive to town every once in a while. But we're going to change that. Now, you have two engine options, a 5.7 V8, which gives you an A- power-to-weight rating, and a 6.0 V8, which gives you an S+ power-to-weight rating. Now, these are designed to be in line with a lot of the vanilla vehicles, so they should both feel pretty balanced. Now, we are personally going to go with the big block V8, and we've also got a general purpose gearbox, as well as a off-road gearbox. And the off-road gearbox, as they say in the description, is also ideal for hauling cargo. So we're going to go with that. Now, suspension-wise, you have three options: stock, hauling, and lifted. Now, the lifted suspension, it says it has some flex. We'll test that out. We'll see how much flex it actually has. But the hauling suspension is pretty much about the same height as the stock suspension, just a lot stiffer springs in the rear. And I think that's the one we're going to go with first, but we're going to go with the lifted one a little bit after that. So we'll go with hauling right off the bat. And as you can see, we have many different variants of however like you want to run this truck. You could even do dually highway tires if you really want to. And there actually are all the highway tires dually options. They are. Wow, okay. In both 34 and 36. And actually, that looks really good with the semi wheels. I'm actually already digging that look. Now, you also have these custom all-terrain tires in 34-inch, the 34-inch AT dualies, also 36-inch AT dualies, the 34-inch AT MD1, and then you can kind of go down the list of the all-terrain tires in 34 and 36, and then you also get into the singles. Now, you can do a 34 or a 36 single, even on the hauling suspension, which is pretty impressive. And then the 40 requires the lifted suspension to run, which makes sense. I mean, a 40 is a giant tire. Absolutely giant tire. Now, off-road, these 34 and 36-inch custom off-road dualies look really, really, really good. And then you also have your standard assortment of off-road truck tires. And then, ooh, these are a unique tire that I haven't really seen before. Now, those, okay, so those come in 34-inch. These also come in 34-inch, and then they both also come in 36, as well as 40. But again, the 40s are restricted to the lifted suspension. Now, let's see. Whoa! Those are Baja Claws, but they're backwards. Whoa, that's weird. We got that backwards Baja Claw, gang. I mean, hey, it'd crawl up a hill really, really well in reverse. Let's just say that. Now, you actually can even do dualies with mud tires. Now, sometimes we see mods where they don't allow you to do a mud terrain dually, but this does, and that's really, really exciting. Really, really nice to see that. And you can do that in both 34 and 36 on this particular suspension. Although, like I said before, the mud singles, or the 40-inch mud singles, are restricted, again, to the lifted variant. Hey, we got boggers, boys! Boggers on beadlocks! Oh, that's awesome. Baja Claw Ice, and those actually, ooh, those are really, really cool as well. And then, if you want to do a chain dually setup, you can also do that as well, or a studded setup. Both of those are possible options. I, personally, for this setup, am going to go with the 36-inch Mud 2 dualies. I know it's kind of an odd sentence to try to get out, but it works. In the winch department, you have Autonomous Scout Extended, and Stock Scout. Diff lock-wise comes default with an engageable diff lock. Snorkel, we've got tall mushroom and tall front-facing. The tall front-facing definitely looks like it suits the truck more, in my opinion. And here's where it gets very interesting. So you got extra front end weight for towing assistance. You've got the rear box or the rear flatbed, which is a really nice option to see. Flatbed spares, which requires the flatbed to be installed, of course. Toolbox to go in the bed. And the gooseneck hitch, which is also free, which is nice to see. Trunk repair supplies, which also overwrites the gooseneck hitch, and the dually fenders. So we'll go ahead and set it up that way. And then now we've got the long antenna to put on. Caged beacon, which I don't really think we need. 2 square beacons, which I also don't really think we need those. And that, I'm sure, probably requires the flatbed to be installed for those mud flaps. Now, the rooftop, you have the round beacon, round parking lights, flasher bar, and the light bar. I think the light bar, actually. Light bar looks really good. Delta stock wheels, and let's see. Ooh, oh, actually, no, sorry, Delta stock bumper, and 2 different variants. Okay, one is painted, one is chrome. I'm going to go with the painted one. I think the painted one looks good. And then, of course, we have a full, like, library of colors here to choose from. It's definitely more along the lines of a matte paint job rather than a gloss paint job, but I think it looks good. Now, let's see. You could do a couple of different add-ons in here for the interior. You guys know. You guys already know. We got to go with beans. We got to go with beans. I mean, hey, if that's available to us, we got to go with it. And I'm actually going to do dice. I think dice will work. All right, so now at this point, this is going to be my very first time driving this truck. So let's go ahead and fire it up. Sounds good. Sounds really good. And actually, that off-road gearbox features fine-tune capability. That's really, really cool. However, my only thing with that is because that features fine-tune capability, does that mean we'll have to wait until Phase 3 drops for this to come to console? Because consoles won't have a fine-tuned gearbox until Phase 3? Huh, that's an interesting thing to think about. Or maybe he's figured a way around that. We'll have to see. Now, let's go ahead and go get a trailer. And we can just get ourselves lined up here. Go into the garage. And let's see. So we've got gooseneck lifted, which looks really, really good. And that should balance out pretty well with, well, I don't know, because we've got just the standard towing suspension. I'm going to go with the standard gooseneck for now, because that does look really, really well balanced. I mean, it's just about the exact height it should be. It's not facing down. It's not facing up. It literally looks just right. I mean, it looks really, really good in my opinion. Really, really, really good. So now let's actually play around with this gooseneck a little bit. Oh, trailer legs on a gooseneck. That's so cool. That's so sick, dude. I love that. That's awesome attention to detail. All right, so let's go ahead and actually just spawn in something. I wonder if it can, I wonder if it can hold Big Bob. I know Big Bob is always like my test for stuff like this, but ever since it released, it's kind of been one of those things where it's like, I wonder if it can take the weight. I don't know, get Big Bob, that'll work. Big Bob works for everything. All right, we'll go back the other way and go back into automatic mode. Get lined up with the trailer. God, those ramps are super reflective. Easy. We're definitely pushing the limits of what this thing would be rated to tow, I think. All right, so now let's see if you will pack. I don't know. I really don't know. It'll pack, apparently. Wow. That's impressive. All right, raise trailer legs and activate ramps. Dude, that's awesome. They just come straight up. That's legit. Okay, I am going to put the extra weight in the front, though, because we probably will need it. Just to kind of keep the truck down. And now let's see how it hauls. But before we see how it hauls, I want to see what this thing looks like, because my God, is that like a gorgeous looking setup. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I know that you guys have been really, really waiting for a Chevy Squarebody for a long time. And really the fact that we have this one now, not only is it an amazing thing to have, but the options that we can use with it really kind of push it to that next level, I feel. I think it's a really, really great truck. And I think it's definitely one you should kind of give some time to. Oh, that's legit. Yeah, I would definitely recommend the big block if you're going to tow something this heavy, though. It works, though. It works really well. It's really impressive. I dig it. I really, really do. I really dig it. I dig this entire setup. I think the whole setup looks amazing. I could totally see myself using this as a way to get stuff around in, like, the Wisconsin region, for example, because think about it. In the Wisconsin region, you have these big expanses of road that, you know, you may or may not always be using, but, like, when you do need to get something somewhere, you want something that can kind of be multi-purpose, right? You don't always want to have to use the biggest rig in your garage. And this truck definitely will fit that role. Now, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and actually unpack the Big Bob, and I'm going to go into create mode, and I'm going to go ahead and delete the Big Bob. I'm going to delete the gooseneck, and then the Delta pickup is now going to be rescued back to the garage, and we're going to make a couple of quick adjustments. So, let's see. Miscellaneous. Where is the... Oh, my God. All right, there it is. Remove the dually fenders. Remove the hitch. And now it's time to go for the lifted suspension and the general purpose gearbox. The reason I say general purpose gearbox is because I want to attempt the jump with it, and I don't know if the off-road box will be fast enough. Now, at this point, we're also going to go for a 40-inch tire, and it's probably going to be... Nah, I shouldn't say probably. It is going to be a bogger, because, like, the boggers just, like, they look so good. A bogger on a square body with beadlocks. You literally can't argue with that, at least not in my mind. And we're going to switch it out for red. I think red on this thing looks so good. Now, with some very minor adjustments, it's now ready to go again in a totally different way. Wow, it's quick. It's a lot quicker with the general purpose box, I'll tell you that. Like, it's a lot quicker. That's really impressive. Before we hit the track, let me put the off-road box in it. And we will attempt the mud real quick. I want to see how far it can go in the mud and high with the 40s and the 40s, the big block, and the off-road gearbox in high. High is really slow, actually, so the high in this thing in the off-road gearbox is like low plus in like everything else. That's probably the slowest high range I've driven in a long time. But I don't say that in a bad way. I don't say that in like, oh, it's so bad, it's slow. I just say that in the sense of it's actually probably really good because you can use high in this truck to sort of bump your way up over obstacles without worrying about the truck kind of going crazy, you know what I mean? So there, it's starting to spin a little bit. You can definitely tell that this thing was set up to feel very, very realistic. Even in low plus, it's starting to bog down. That's standard low. That's low minus. That's all the way down. That's as low as we can go. And it's pretty stuck. Although, I mean, if you're looking for something where you actually have to think about it and you actually have to think like, hey, maybe I shouldn't go that way, I might get stuck, this is definitely going to be, you know, this is definitely going to fit that bill for you. However, I feel like in real life, I don't know, I feel like in real life, on a 40-inch bogger, I feel like we would have gotten a little bit further, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, let's see if it can do the first jump. If it can't do the first jump, I don't know if it'll be able to do the rest of the track. But it may. I feel like it should be able to. All right, let's go. Already in third, already in fourth. There's fifth gear. Will it make that first jump? Oh, it almost did. That's the closest I think a vehicle has ever come to making that jump and yet not made it. We bent the antenna. Oh my God, we bent the antenna. That is hilarious. I mean, I wish it just had that little tiny extra bit. If it was a 6-speed, it would have made it no problem. And I don't say that from the standpoint of like, oh yeah, if it was a 6-speed, it would have made it no problem. But like, legitimately, if it was a 6-speed, it would have made it no problem. I want to see if maybe I can get it a little bit more speed. Because I want to see this thing make it. Whoa! Let's come in from this direction. Let's back it up and see if we can come in from this direction. Make that corner and see if I can get it into fourth gear a little earlier. There's third, there's fourth. Fifth gear early. That's fifth gear before the ramp. Flat out, come on! Oh my God! The tire literally touched the other side of the ramp. It was struggling to get grip on the other side of the ramp. I wish it just had one more gear. That's the only thing that I wish this truck had, was that one more gear. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave your thoughts and opinions on the video as well as the truck down in the comments below. And if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave me a like and subscribe and turn those notifications on. And I will see you guys next time.